Now, with all the bad Sonic games out of the way, you probably want to know about my favorites. So, let's see the top 4 best Sonic games. At number 4 is Sonic Adventure, except for the Big the Cat. Now, I played the new 3D Sonic games before Sonic Adventure, then I got Sonic Adventure for GameCube, which is basically Sonic Adventure DX, the director's cut, and this is a lot better than the new games. It was big and it had a lot of stuff to do. All the characters include Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Rose, and that robot whose name I forgot, had great levels, offered new things to do which makes it all the fun. All except for Big the Cat. He is infamous for having levels that are mainly fishing for his frog called Froggy. The controls are crap, so crap it made my hands red. But even a reviewer stated, another reviewer, that his hands bled, so it's very dangerous to play. But why fishing? It's not fun. It's never been fun. The only time fishing is fun is in Minecraft. Barely. Putting fishing levels in a Sonic game makes it feel out of place. Yes, there are some problems like characters, poor lip sync, minor glitches, and of course big cat levels, but other than that, it's still enjoyable and great to play. Except for the big cat levels. At number 3 is all the Sonic-a-thons games. My first game that was new at the time was the Game Boy Advance. Before I got it, it was the summer of that same year. Somehow, someone showed me Sonic Advance 2 and I loved it. So when I got the GBA, which is probably Game Boy Advance, my second game was Sonic Advance 2. First game was Finding Nemo. Thank God that disappeared somewhere. And I played that game like hell. This was the game that I enjoyed to death until I got the Game Boy Advance version of Super Mario Bros. 3. But then I found out that Sonic Advance 3 was going to be released, and I was overjoyed. When I got it, I played that to death. Then I got the first one sometime later. The first Sonic game was pretty good. It was simple, level design was okay, boss battles were fun and simple. The third one was great, was big, and it was adventurous. It was perfect. But the one I missed out was Sonic Advance 2. This was the favorite out of the trilogy, my favorite. What made it better than Sonic Advance 3 is that it's so simple, it's completely flawless. Apart from trying to get the 7 special rings to get to the special stage, but I don't care. But what I have a problem with is people actually criticize is the second one. People don't really like the second one, and I don't know why. But I'll try and look at someone else's review to find out what's wrong with it. Uh, yeah. So they updated the original Sonic side scrollers to a new generation, and I'm proud that this was the first Sonic games I owned, not just played. I didn't own Heroes at the time, but Advance 2 was the one I first Sonic games I owned, and I just loved it. Number 2 is Sonic CD. I feel so sorry for this game because it's so good, the graphics are awesome for its time, the levels are fresh and new for its time. The problem was it was released for the Sega CD, to which people say that it's the only good game for Sega CD. Because I don't think it was very popular and not many people bought it, but to the people who did get to play it, must have had a field day. Sonic the Hedgehog must travel through levels using his speed to get from A to B, but hits the twist. During levels you go to travel either through the past, present, or future versions of each level, which actually spices things up a notch. It is also known for the first appearances of Amy Rose, who looks a lot different from today's Amy Rose and Metal Sonic. My criticism of the game, though, is it's too short. It took me about a few hours to beat, and seeing this was in a CD format, I thought there would be more levels, but anywho, it's an awesome game, even if it doesn't have a lot of levels. And at number 1 is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic the Hedgehog was a fun, colourful and a fast-paced game. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was a fun, colourful and even faster-paced game with an added character. But Sonic 3 was probably the most colourful and biggest game of the time.
In fact, I'm also going to include Sonic the Hedgehog and Knuckles, or Sonic and Knuckles. The story takes place after Sonic 2, as Sonic goes into Angel Island as Super Sonic. Knuckles hits him and steals the emeralds. Knuckles is tricked by Dr. Eggman after telling Knuckles that Sonic was the one who stole the Chaos Emeralds. The gameplay is fast and fun, the designs are very well made for its time, and it never gets boring. The game saw an introduction to Knuckles in this game, and yes, he still looks pretty much the same years later, except for Amy Rose. That is not going to get out of my head. Probably the greatest thing about this game is that were the songs made by Michael Jackson. Well, some. After some allegations at the time, his songs were never used. Which is a lie, as there are some songs that still remain in the game. You gotta watch out for them. This game is a colourful game and definitely great experience for any Sonic fan. Check it out like all the 3 other great Sonic games. Now the one I'm also going to put in is Sonic and Knuckles, which I wasn't going to put in my list, but it's kind of together really. Because basically Sonic and Knuckles was supposed to be in Sonic 3, but due to some problems in Sega, they split it into a separate game. the, the special thing about this one is that you can actually put other Sonic games onto the cartridge. Like you can play as Knuckles in Sonic 1, and Knuckles in Sonic 2, and obviously the third one as well. So yeah, both great games. Well, it's a great game. It's a huge game, and do check it out. It should probably on the PS3 with Sonic's Genesis collection, or if you live in England, Sega Mega Drive collection, or on the PS2 for Sonic Mega collection, and so on and so forth. There's so many ports of it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.